Hey viewers, RageQuit003 doing a gear comparison video today. Last week, Classic Firearm started selling their plate carrier. It's called the MAC, Modular Armor Carrier. And I just got it, took 6 days to ship it. It was like $123 altogether after tax and shipping and $1 insurance. And a lot of people think that it was a copy or a non-branded version of the 511 Tactec plate carrier, which I have and I've been running for years. So I'm just gonna do a comparison video for you to show you that it's not the same thing, and I can clearly tell there's lots of differences. So even in their own video, you could tell there's a couple differences. So this is how it comes shipped to you. It's gonna arrive in a bubble envelope with nothing else, but they did give me 4 stickers. But just without even opening the package, you could tell a couple big differences. One, it's got loop panels on the shoulders. The real one does not have any. A lot of commenters don't even notice in the video, but a real Tactec plate carrier has a drag handle right here that pops out. Theirs does not have it, which is probably why it's $100 cheaper. And just looking through the clear plastic, I could see the stitching is different. So, show you here, like on mine. So on the real one, it's branded right here in 2 spots. There's a label here, and on the cummerbund, which you're not going to be able to see because my gear's in the way. Maybe I can get it. Good camera angle here. But there's a rubber 511 patch sewn into the molly on the cummerbund. But anyway, on the shoulder pads on the 511 version, it is triple stitched. And like I said, there's no loop panels on the actual 511 one. So what I'll do is I'll open this up, we'll look at it more in detail, try to do some more comparisons. I could also tell the color is different compared to the actual 511 one. This one is advertised as FDE, where the 511 one is called, their color name is called Sandstone. And as of right now, they only sell this in FDE, whereas 511, I think they have 4 colors available. I think there's a black, multi-glam, and some grayish one, I think, if I remember. I haven't looked at their website in a long time. But I'll take this out of the plastic and we'll look at it in more detail here in a second. Here's something interesting. I snipped the tape on the bottom and unfolded it, and Classic advertises this on their website as US manufacturer, but that's not an English label. So that's weird. So maybe this is just a Chinese knockoff of a Tactec. Doesn't mean it's bad. So anyway, finish getting this out of the bag and we'll continue. Okay, got it unwrapped, and it's totally different than a legitimate 511. So it's definitely not manufactured by 511 and unbranded. My best guess is this is just a Chinese knockoff, and for a Chinese knockoff, it's actually pretty decent. It still looks like it'll hold up pretty well, but there's lots of differences. So on Classic's website, they advertise this as a 600 denier fabric, which most Chinese knockoffs plate carriers are going to be made out of 600D. Real Tactec is made out of 500D nylon. I could tell that these foam inserts behind the mesh is totally different than on the real 511. Lots of differences with the stitching. The shoulder pads also feel different compared to my real one. The nice thing on this, though, is this was already, looks like it's already sized at the minimum size, because I got this one December 2016. I think I got it from Midway USA, and by default, the default size, it's pretty big. It's made for, they'll ship it to you for, like, if you're you have like a girthy torso. And back then when I order it, there actually wasn't a video showing you how to dismantle this and check it, because that's the downside to the Tactec plate plate carriers. The initial setup is super annoying. I'll include a link to the video, the official 511 video on how to do it. It's going to be by Andy Stump. He's a former Navy SEAL, and he'll show you how to do it. But the initial setup, like, because basically you're going to be lacing this metal wire through here and taking all this crap apart, and it's what links the cummerbunds together, just so you could do the quick release to take this plate carrier apart. But I'll link that video in the description to show you guys how to do it. Although for me, because I shrank mine down to the smallest, because you want this where this top edge, when you got the shoulder pad set up the way you need it, this needs to be covering your collarbone, not sagging down, and you don't want your plate swinging around, which is why you gotta cinch up your cummerbund. Some other differences I noticed on the 511 one, their material is called Web ID Loop, which is actually the main reason I switched to this plate carrier years ago, because I wanted the patch panel space. But this one's a different material. It's really rough compared to this. This is almost like a velvet on a 511 one. This is weird. This almost feels like Scotch-Brite pad. But I mean, it still feels strong. It feels like it's rubberized in the back. I don't think a 511 is. Oh yeah, it is. So yeah, the 511 one, it does feel like it's got like a plastic coating on the back of their loop ID. Yeah, so not a non-branded US part, which I was kind of hoping it would be, but I mean, I still think it's a pretty decent deal for 99 bucks, even if it's a Chinese knockoff. This plastic buckle also is different on the real one. I have mine in the rear because this is stupid wearing it in the front. So you really should be putting it here out of the way, because it's also easier if you need to take it off yourself. You can reach behind, you can reach over with your fingers and just shear that stuff off easy. This is just inviting trouble, putting it in the front, having your friends fuck with you. But yeah, so that's a down and dirty overview of it. If you want to stick around, I'll probably talk about my actual plate carrier setup and the way I have it set up, because I never actually have talked about that before. But if people are interested, they can stick around for the final part on the gear I have in my actual plate carrier, and why I set it up, and why I like this carrier, which doesn't mean at the exclusion of other carriers. I'm just not gonna like spend tons of money buying a bunch of carriers, but I'll tell you the features on why I picked the 511 Tactec years ago, and I'll describe my gear setup here on the next segment. And as a quick test before I go to the next segment where we're talking about my carrier, I wanted to test out how well the Velcro works on the classic Firearms version. It's not that well. So if you wanted to use the actual patch function, it's not going to be that good.